So good evening, everybody, and you are welcome to class today. Um, it's really been a while. We had classes due to the Ramadan period, Easter period, my test period, and all those holidays that we had in between. But we are continuing the class today, and I welcome everybody back to class today. Before we went for the break that we went for, we were discussing about some DAX functions, right? We started to talk about calculate function, what we use calculate to do. Then we talked about the filter context, and then we talked about the if statement. So those are the things that we discussed about the last time we were together in class. So today we are going to be going into the text function and also the date and time function. Now, before we go into those parts, I don't know if anybody have some questions that they want to get answered, right? So that we can just quickly talk about, answer those questions before we move into these text functions and the data time function. So do we have any question? Anybody? Does any of us have any question you want me to look into, or any issue regarding your DAX or your Power BI at the moment that is not allowing you to be exactly where we are at the moment? Okay. So I take,
Good evening, sir.
yeah, good evening, Winnie. How are you, Winnie?
I'm okay, sir. Mine is
Yes.
just an apology. I've been quite off class due to unavoidable circumstances, but I followed up with the videos on YouTube.
Okay.
I tried to catch up as much as possible. Yeah, but for now, I don't have a question. Maybe if I get alongside the way, because I'm trying to do the assignment, then I
Okay.
will reach out.
Okay, no
Okay.
problem. No problem.
Thank
That's
you.
that's very good. Now talking about assignments, the other one I gave the other day were just for testing some other things. So my wonderful people, I'm going to be um although before then, just know that at the end of this or subsequently as we proceed in this, we are going to be doing some form of analysis on different data sets together. So I'm going to try to do at least five in the span of whatever span we are doing, right? What do I mean by five data sets? Like we're going to try to do, so those data sets are going to be centered on different companies. Now, one of the most major data sets you ever see everywhere in the world is about sales, isn't it? You wake up today, you want to look at data set for training, is about sales, about sales. But the reality is that majority of us, we might not really work in sales, isn't it? So, and one thing that allows you to be able to be a better data analyst, that allows you to be able to work properly, that allows you to be able to scale that interview and everything is that you have experience with something called domain knowledge. Domain knowledge means that what you have an idea of how data is represented in that what's it called in that line of work. For example, if I show you a HR data, do you know how to analyze an HR data? If I show you a healthcare data, do you know how to analyze an healthcare data? If I show you a logistic data, do you know how to analyze a logistic data? If I show you a sports data, do you know how to analyze a sports data? If I show you a customer churn data, do you know how to analyze this type of data? Right, you can see that I've given you different scenarios. Now, for you to level up is that you need to be able to, wherever you sit, you need to be able to adjust yourself. See, I've told everybody, I'm not going to come here to mince word for you. I'm going to be doing it the way I would do it as well, right? I might not even majority of the classes and everything, I don't even usually practice them because I believe that it's always good that all of us learn together. Are you following me? Now, in those cases too, we're going to be using AI, we're going to be using Google, we're going to be using everything such that you have an idea that even the person teaching you does not know everything. Nobody on earth knows everything. In fact, majority of what you are looking on YouTube or everything, Everybody will surely have something beside them that they are using as well. In your place of work, you have those things as well. So now the reality is, how do I use all these tools to now do what? To make my own work better. Are you following? How do I use all these tools to make my job better? Or how do I use all these tools for me to have an answer or to understand what I am doing? So don't worry, once we reach that stage, once we are done with what's her name? Um Chiamaka's class, that is exactly what we'll be starting. In fact, Chiamaka's class is also like the starting point for what? For that. Because if you notice, the data set we are using in our class is actually a sales data set, isn't it? But it's not just a sales of a company, it's a sales of something that is very common in Nigeria, right? The phone sales. Anyway, if for those of you in Ikeja or in Nigeria, you all know it's computer village. This is a something that you can actually even automate for them. You can tell them that you want to automate their whole sales process. They can know their profit, they can know their this and that, and everything will go seamlessly. In fact, and it means that they will not need to have any sales as assistant, or the manager and the owner of the company can track the way everything that they are doing anywhere without him even coming to the office, and he knows that, oh, I've sold this, I've sold that, and the rest like that. This is a package. But majority of us, we don't usually, we only see the surface of things. We don't usually go in depth, and that is why we need all these things together. I hope you are following everybody, and I hope you understand what I'm saying. Okay, good. So now, my wonderful people, um, let's talk about text functions, right? So just text functions are a group of DAX functions that are used for text. They are textual based. We use them to change text, or we use them to transform text inside of our DAX, inside of our Power BI, right? Yes, before now, when we talked about Power Query Editor, if you all remember, we did quite a lot of things with text functions, isn't it? Yes, so the same thing you could do there. You can also do something similar to that in your what? In your DAX. Are you following me? So now these six that we have here, these are the major ones that we do what? That the major ones that we have, right? We have quite a lot more than these six, but these are the six major ones that at the back of your mind, you should already know these ones. Even if you are going to be adding to it, these six, you must know it. In fact, all the functions we have been talking before now, they are the ones that you have to have them at the back of your mind. They have to be part and parcel of you. Are you following me? So any other function or anything that are adding to all these ones, they are just add-ons. But these ones, you need to understand them properly. So the first of them is the concatenate, right? The concatenate, or the and. Now, this is used to actually combine texts together. Either you want to combine columns, two columns together, or you just want to combine text together. Say, for example, you have first name in one place, you have last name in another place. You want to create a full name column. You can use concatenate to concatenate the first name and the last name together. So that is what concatenate does for you. Are we following everybody? Also, from concatenate, we also have the left. What does left do? Left is an extraction tool. Left is the what? An extraction tool. It extracts the first n characters from where? From a text. So let's say you want to extract 3 characters. So it starts from the left hand side. Usually, for those of us that are writing in the English language or any language that starts from the left, right, it will start from the beginning. So left starts from the beginning. So that is why if you look at the example that we have here, we said it gets the first n characters, and we told it to get 3 characters. So with and the word is Lagos. So what that means is starting from L-A-G. 1, 2, 3. That's why we have lag like this. So I want to be like, what is the effect of this and that? Yes, so there are sometimes maybe you want to reduce the strength or something. You want to create password for people. Quite a lot of use cases. The opposite of left is what? Right. And right also gets the last n characters. That is, it starts from the end. Now, you can see we have right of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they say we want 2 characters. It starts from the last character, which is 5, and then 4. And that is why we have 45. So that is right. So let's take it again one more time. Concatenate does what? Concatenate allows us to be able to combine text together. Whether text or columns, it allows us to combine them together. Then we have left. Left allows us to get the first n characters starting from the left side. Then we have right. Right is the opposite of left, which allows us to do what? To get the last n characters. That is right. Then we have learn. L-E-N, learn. What is learn used for? Learn allows us to be able to count, or it returns the number of characters in a word or in the input. It counts the number of characters in that input. I don't want to use word because sometimes you might want to count what we have in a sentence. You might want to count what we have in a text. You might want to have what we have in a paragraph. You might want to count what we have in just a word. So that is why I don't want to use in a word. But learn counts the number of characters in the input. So in this case, we say learn of Nigeria. And that is why we have 7. Because it says N, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it has counted that Nigeria has 7 characters. Nigeria has 7 characters. Nigeria has 7 characters. And that is how we have learn of Nigeria is equal to what? Is equal to 7. Then we have upper. What does upper do? Upper allows us to be able to convert something from the small lowercase or proper case into full uppercase. Upper allows us to convert to what? To upper case. So if you have, for example, you can see upper of Lagos. When you write Lagos all in small letters and you input it inside the upper function, it would give you the Lagos all in capital letters. So all the letters that are there are all going to be in capital letters. Now then we have the opposite of upper, which is what? Lower. The opposite of upper is lower. What does lower do? Lower converts all the stuff that you have in capital letters or in proper case into what? Into small letters. So these 6 are the foundation of text functions in DAX. In fact, these 6 are also the foundation of text function in Excel, isn't it? In fact, these 6 are also the foundation of text function even in SQL. What is that telling you? It's telling you that this 6 is the foundation of text functions everywhere. Whether it's DAX, whether it's mQuery, whether it's SQL, whether it's Excel function, these 6 you must know them by heart. So let's do examples. So we have 4 examples in which we are going to be working with, right? The first one is the full name example. We're going to be creating the full name. We're going to be using city code. We're going to be creating length of name. And we're going to be creating domain. So we're going to be doing all these 4 together in class now. So let's go to our what? Our Power BI. Good. So can everybody see my Power BI screen? Can you see my Power BI screen? Perfect. Good. Now let's go. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we'll go to we can do it from here, but I'm always comfortable working at this other side, right? I'm always comfortable working here. So let's go to our Ninja phone shop sales. We have all this. So we have noticed that we have our customer name here, right? Unfortunately now we have already even combined the customer names together. What can we combine here now that will make sense? Mm, okay, no problem, not an issue. We can combine what can we combine that will make sense? Let's look for it together. Let's say we want to combine the staff and the city together, right? So Amaka in Abuja, Tunde in Onitsha. Amaka in Abuja, Tunde in Onitsha, something like that. Yes, let's try to do something like that just to have a feeling of how we use the concatenate, right? So now in this case, what we want to do is we want to create a new column, isn't it? And when we want to create a new column in DAX, what do we use, everybody? Is it a measure or is it a calculated column? Is it a measure
Calculated column.
or is it a calculated
Calculated
column?
column.
Is a calculated column. Perfect. Okay. So how do we do it? So I first click on new column. That gives us a new calculated column. So let's say we want to call the column um, staff name or something. Staff ID, for example. Now I want to call the column staff ID, right? So what does staff ID? Staff ID is equal to what? Is equal to staff, right? So I can just go staff and yes, this one. And I can say what? I can use this, the and the staff, and what do we say we are using? The staff and the city, right? So staff ID and city. And let's press enter. Let's see what that gives us. For example, we are building this together. Now, my people, when I do this, what do you notice? What is the result? What do you notice in
There's
the
no
result?
space.
What do you see?
There's no space. There's no space in between the marker and There's no space.
Thank you very much. There is no space. We don't have a space in between. So now we need to add that space, an imaginary space. So how do we go about it? So we go back to our what we are writing. So to add the space, it is going to be imaginary. So that means that space itself is another character on its own, isn't it? So we're going to say staff and we'll now put quotes, double quotes like this, space, double quote like this, then and. So what does that mean? It means I'm adding three things together: the staff, right? The space, and the what? And the what? And the city. So now let's see. Once I press enter, what happens? Now we have the spaces there. So that is basically how the text, how that works. And but let's now do the same with concatenate, isn't it? Because we said concatenate and. How does concatenate works here? So let's say new column again, right? So what is the new column? Staff underscore ID. That's the new column. The first one is just staff ID. The second one now is staff underscore ID, right? So what is this one now? We say want to concatenate. Do you see? We want to join two strings, two text strings together. So let's concatenate staff, comma. And what is the second one we want to concatenate? With what? With city. Then we'll close the brackets. I will press enter. Did you see that it is basically the same thing? Now, but we know that that same error is coming up. So what do? We just quickly edit it and we add the space, isn't it? But now, one major issue now is this. Concatenate is only allowing us to concatenate two things at the same time. It's not allowing us to add more than two. Do you notice? It's saying the maximum argument count for the function concatenate is 2. Do you see that? The maximum function count for the function concatenate is 2. So what do we do in this case? What is the solution? This is why next time what we usually do is we usually use that and the more. Number one. Another one is what? Is that you can actually nest the concatenate. Concatenate this one inside this one. Do you understand? So for example, in this place now, I can say, I will say I want to concatenate then this one now, such that whatever I have in this one, I am concatenating it. So this whole one here becomes a new, what's it called? A new, um, a single result is gotten from it. Are you following? It is now added with whatever we have in this concatenate. Do you understand? Now, usually, the standard approach, basically, when you are working with stuff like this, especially concatenate of stuff like this, is that it's best thing for you to use is that and sign. Because number one, it is easier and straightforward. You will agree with me that it is easier and straightforward with that other and. But this one now is not easy and straightforward. Let's run it. It will go now. You can see. But I have to nest it inside another one. So I intentionally showed you the two of them so that you can know the use case. Yes, we spoke about concatenate, but now you can see that even though yes, it's fancy to use concatenate, but it is still limited. It can work in what? In only two, what's it called? Two arguments. That's what it works with. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Should we continue, everybody?
So please, can you re-explain this concatenate
What do you
again,
say?
sir? Please, can you explain the concatenate again, sir? I lost.
Okay, I
I
should
wasn't
explain
seeing the screen. I think it
concatenate.
was my
Good.
network.
So when we
Yes,
discuss
sir.
about
Again.
concatenate, we said concatenate is used to merge um strings together. Are you following me, ma'am? So now how do we go about it? We say concatenate tab, then we brought our what? Our staff, comma, and what? Our what's the other one? Staff and city. Then we close the brackets. When we did this, it worked, but there was no space in between. Can you see it? Hello? You can see it, right? Good. Now, for us to now add the
Yes,
space,
sir.
let us now add the space. When I put the space and put comma, immediately it is already showing me this red. And when it starts showing you red, it means that something is wrong. And Power BI, DAX is so simple that once you press enter and something is wrong, it will tell you that something is wrong. How? It will just give you this error here. It's saying too many arguments were passed into the concatenate function. And what is the argument? Is that the maximum argument you can have in concatenate is just 2. So what is the solution to this? The solution to this is for us to nest it inside each other. That is, put one concatenate inside another concatenate. Are you following me? So that is what to do. So for example, we can say, okay, oh, this one and the city, they should be together in one concatenate. So let me write this thing in the proper way I'm supposed to write it. So I'll come here, then I'll say, okay, no. Then I want another what? Concatenate to be of this. So now we have this concatenate now. This concatenate has the space and the city as its own response. So its own response will now be only the single response that will be added to what? To this one here, to the staff. So that is why it can go. So I'm just going to close my what? I'm going to close my my bracket. So this is the proper way I'm supposed to write it. Good. Then I press enter. Then you can see we are good. So both for staff ID with and with concatenate now, you can see the two of them gave us the same result. But which of them is the better one to use? Which of them is the better one to use? Is that what we should use? What?
The first one.
Josefa?
And
Is for us to use what? Is for us to use the and symbol. We should use the and. That's the better one for us to use because we can see that and is much more flexible, is much more easier to write than us using concatenate. Yes, Gladys, go ahead, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Sorry for disturbing. I don't know if there's a way we can zoom in. The letters are a bit faint and
The,
it's not clear.
the data is faint. Hmm.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Are you using it on your phone?
No, sir. I'm using my system.
Gosh. With your phone now, I'll have to just zoom it. But if I'm using your system, let me see if I do this. Can you go to full screen on your system? Did it become
Okay,
bigger?
let me try the full screen.
Yes, try the full screen on your
Let
system.
me
Let me
try
know.
the full screen. But it's not sure. Maybe my network is. Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, it's manageable on the full screen. I can see it now.
you can see it now. Thank God. Okay, so let's
Yes, sir.
continue.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
So that is about concatenate. So let's go to um left or right. So let's say in left now, we want to create like a code. For example, we want to create like a code for our cities. If you look at our cities, we have Abuja, Onitsha, Uyo, and everything. Let's assume we want to extract the first three characters in our cities, and let's start with that first. And we also want it in capital letters. Do you usually have it in our airplane and everything, right? They have ABU, you know it's Abuja. When you see KAN, you know it's Kano. ONI is Onitsha, and it goes on like that. So let's do something like that to our city. So we're going to use left for that because, so how do we go about it? So that means we want to create a new column, right? And then what is that new column? The new column is, let's say, city code. Now the city code is what? I pressed enter. So city code is left tab. What is the text? You can see it has shown us the argument here, the text and the number of characters that we want to return. So what is the text? The text are returning, the text is city. And what is the number of characters we want? We want just 3 characters. So we close this bracket and we press enter. So when we do that, we have our what's it called? We have our results. But something comes to your mind is that this thing is looking somehow. It's supposed to be all in capital letters, isn't it? It's all supposed to come out in capital letters. And remember, I told you of a keyword that you use to convert to capital letter. Can anybody remember? Anybody
upper.
remember?
Upper.
Upper. Upper. Good. So the best thing is you can either input the upper inside, but the best thing is for you to have the upper outside. You nest everything together such that your city code is the upper of, so what do I have here? It's saying your city code is the upper of the left of this. Do you understand? So that is how you put all these things. This is how they all work together. Then you press enter, and when you do that, you can see it will immediately change, and then you have upper. Can you see now? So let's work with the name length. So let's say I want to know the number of characters in everybody's name, for example. So we can say, okay, name length, how does that work? That's another new column, right? So name length, another column. So we can say name length is len tab, len of what? Len of, for example, customer name. That's all. Enter. So what does that do? It returns the number of characters in every customer's name. So you can see this one is 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, and it goes on like that. Then which one again? Which one again can we do? I think that was already covered almost everything that we do what that we have. That has covered everything that we discussed about. So that is it about the text functions. So they are very, very easy to understand and easy to use. So now let's now go to the next one, which are date and time functions. Now, date and time functions are functions that we use with what? That we use with respect to time, to date. Are you following? And we really, really, really need to understand how all of this work, right? Now, because you see these ones that are here, these ones are the basis as well. Are you following? These ones are the what? They are the basis as well for the other ones that we are going to be mounting on this. Yes, we have the year function, we have the month function, we have the day function, we have the today function, the now function, the weekday function. What is all this? So these 6 functions are the basics, right? But usually when you get to your place of work, you might be using some other one because you have some other advanced date. In fact, we're still going to have a class that the only thing we're going to be talking about that is just date function, because I'm going to start talking about there's some function that's so crazy that I can even give you, we have different transaction according to different year. There's a function that is called previous year YTD that can allow you to know, for example, what did we sell today? Today is 4th or 7th of April 2025, 2026. So what did we sell in 7th of April 2025? What did we sell 7th of April 2024? There are some functions that can do that for you. But you need to first understand this one. We are still at the beginner's level. Are we following? So we have the year. What does the year do for us? The year allows us to extract the year part of a date, because every date that we have, it has what we call date parts. What are the date parts? Every single thing about the date is the date part. For example, the year is a date part, the month is a date part, the day is a date part, the hour, the minutes, the quarter, the financial year, the day in terms of characters, they are all date parts. They are all part of the date. So the year allows us to extract the date part year, the year part of the date. Then we have the month. The month allows us to extract the numerical month of the date. So when we use month, it will return, for example, April. It will return 4 for you. Then we have day. Day returns the numerical day. Are you following? Which is, for example, usually between 1 to 30 or 31, right? Then we have today. Today returns today's date for you. Then we have now. Now gives you the date as well as the time. Then we have weekday. Weekday returns what? Returns the day of the week. For example, today is Tuesday. Are you following me? So these are what? These are some of the date functions. Now, there's still going to be a point in time when professionally, or as we continue in class, there's something usually called a date table, which I'm still going to teach you how to do that. We're still going to show you how to incorporate it in your data set. Now, usually that is usually one of the most important things you have as an additional stuff to your data set, because any form of data set, for example, if you look at our data set, it has a date component. The best thing that you can do for yourself is that you have an additional date table that you can connect the two of them together. That way, it allows you to do lot of granularity, lot of drilling, lot of analysis date wise. Are you following me, everybody? So let's go back to, let's give examples on this on the date function. So let's give examples on the date function. So let's start. Let's say we have this date. We want to know the year from all these dates, for example. How do we go about it? How do we go about it? So for us to go about it, we start what? We pick a new column, isn't it? Once we pick a new column, what do? We say we want the year. So let's say sales year is what? Is equal to year tab of our date. So you can see it's quite trickish there. So you can say year of Niger, then date. Good. Then you press enter. And once you do that, you have your year. You can see all the years, all of them do what? All of them come out. So in this result, I think everything we have is only 2024. Yes, that is year for you. Now let's pick the month, for example. Another new column. So how do you go about it? Same thing. We can say month, sales month. So you can say month of, now look at it. As I press month, do you notice something? You can see we have closing balance month, which gives you the closing balance month on month. You can see we have end of month. That is, it will look for all the months. For example, everything in as at end of this month. What is our what is it called? What is the whatever you are doing there? Next month. What is, if this month, if you are in this month, what is going to be the next month value? Opening balance this month, previous month, start of the month. In fact, let me bring year. Let me write year there. You will see. Do you see what I'm talking about? Same period last year. Can you see? Opening balance here. So all these things, they allow you to, you need to understand the basics first. And once you understand the basics, you'll be able to mount on it. So let's go back to what we're doing. So we have month. We have month tab. Month returns the number representing the month, right? And what is our this thing? Niger date. Then we close the brackets and we press enter. It will return for you the number, which one is what? January, 2 is February, 4 is April. But the question now is, Mr. Bankole, what if I want to see January, February, March, and so on and so forth? How do I go about it? Well, there's another method. So how do I go about it? New column. So let's say the name of that is month name. So this time around, we use a new function called format. Format. Now, what does format does for you? Format allows you to convert from text into from numbers into text, but in a specific format. Are you following me, everybody? So in this case, what we have is format tab. You can see it converts a value to text in a specified number format. Now we're working with date. Whenever you're working with date, are you following me? We have some things like this. When we have so let's start like this first. So we have format. The next thing we bring in format is the what? Is what we want to change. For example, the date now. Niger date, then comma. Now, do you see what happened next? This is even what I wanted to explain to you. It's saying that when you format Niger date, it has already noticed that it is a date. It's not telling you, do you want to see the date? Do you want to see the day? Do you want to see the month? Do you want to see the month number? So let's say I want to see the month like this, close brackets. In fact, that is even wrong. That's not what that is doing for us. The date, let's leave it like that, comma. Then you can see it saying local, the format. What is now the format? The format is what I wanted to write for you down here. What is the format? The first one we have for your year, we have YYY, which returns the year for you. Something like this, 2024, for example. Then we have MMM, 4Ms. 4Ms return full month name. Then we have 3Ms. You can have 2Ms or 3Ms like this. Hello, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Okay, can you hear me? Good. So we have 3Ms. What does
Mr.
3M
Banko,
do?
like I hear you, but your video is kind of paused. Like it's no nothing is moving, but your voice
What did you say?
is being heard. I can
The,
hear your voice loud and clear, but the video is paused and nothing is moving.
the video is paused and it's not your network, Abby.
Yes,
It's your network.
um,
It's our
my
network.
It's
network.
your
Thank
network.
you.
It's
Thank
your
you for
network. It's
so
okay.
the three
It should be
M's,
our network.
the 3M's gives you the first three characters. The first three characters in the month name. So for example, June, April. So in this one now, we have this as June, April, like this. Are you following? You can see these are several, what's it called? These are several, so these are several of the formats. We also have day. So we have DDD, 3Ds like this. This returns the full day name. Are you with me? Then if you have 3Ds, so for example, Monday, Tuesday, etc. So in this case, we want to see what? We want to see MMM, 4Ms. Then we can close our brackets. Then we can run it. You can see we have January. So let's take, instead of 4, let's pick 3. Do you see? It gave us Jan Feb, like that. Are you seeing it, everybody? So let's pick DDD, 3Ds. It will give you that day, Sunday, Thursday. So let's pick 4Ds, 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. Do you see? But you're working with the month name now. So because you're working with month name, we name it what? MMMM, 4 M's. Enter. That is how that is what? That is how that is done. Is that understood, everybody? So any question so far? Okay. I think already above the hour. So also, like I told you, we can actually also combine all these functions together. Look at this now. The question here is saying they want to do conditional sales with filters. We want to create a sales target status, which says what? We want to calculate. This is an if. If we are calculating if the total amount, right? The sales is greater than 1, the sales month, that is January, is greater than 1, and the sales month is less than 3, that is between January and what's it called? Between January and March. Are you following me? The total amount must be 50 million. So what we are trying to do here, we're trying to do for the Q1 sales to confirm that were we able to meet the target. Are you following me? So we are going to be doing this on our own. In fact, that is your next assignment. It's very easy. Just copy the same thing and put it there. You'll be able to go about it. No issue about that. So with that, we've come to the end of what we want to do today. Now, next class, we're going to be moving to building complete reports. Building complete report is us trying to bring together everything that we have learned, right? We're going to be learning how to build a report layout. We're going to be learning how to build designs. We're going to be learning how to choose colors. We're going to be learning how to get inspirations, where to get inspirations from. Are you following? We're going to be learning which type of colors or reports should we use for different use cases. Am I showing this to my management? Or I'm showing this just for myself? I'm showing it for the general public. How do I go about the reporting? This is what we are going to be doing next class. Now, this is what we are going to be doing as an assignment. I want you to create 3 calculate measures with different filters. Remember that calculate means we are performing aggregate, but with different what? With different filters in it, isn't it? So I want you to create 3 unique to yourself with calculate. I also want you to create 2 with if. One will be a simple if, the other will be a nested if. Then I want you to create a calculated column using text function. You can use the same one we did in class. I want you to also create a calculated column using date function. Now, an example of that is you might want to say, okay, how many days? Since this is the date, right? Okay, between this day and today, how many days has this person done whatever they did? For example, they had how many days, when was the last time they patronized us? Something like that. You can use calculated column for that. Then, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the WhatsApp group. With that, we are done for today's class. So we see again next class, which is going to be next Thursday, where we are going to be going into report building. And I'm bringing a magnificent person, Chiamaka Igwe. She's going to be walking us through how to build a powerful Power BI report. In fact, you can even go online now. Just put her name on YouTube. You will see, you'll be amazed. So she's going to come and be training us on how she does what she does. So thank you very much, everybody, for staying tuned from the beginning of the class up to now. and welcome back to class. We're having our classes throughout this month of April. We are going to have classes every single day. Don't worry. So, see you next class. Thank you very much. Bye bye for now.